What's going on, guys? Super Savage 789 here, bringing you guys a video, and today we're doing What If Roshi raised Goku. I'm very excited for this What If, so without further ado, let's just get into today's video. In this timeline, instead of Goku's space pod landing at Mount Paozu, it lands in the ocean. As the crashing waves carry around the pod, the boy inside is thrown around quite a bit, meaning that he'd end up hitting his head. He'd be floating around for several hours before a turtle comes across him. Turtle would be curious about the item and examines it, believing it to be some kind of satellite. When he sees a boy inside, knocked out, he quickly realizes he needs the help. He places the pod on his back and begins swimming as fast as he can towards Kame House. After arriving, Roshi would come out, relearns of the situation from his friend. Being the kind-hearted man that he is, Roshi would tend to the boy and nurses him back to health. Using telepathy, Roshi reads the boy's mind to learn about what events transpired to leave him stranded in the ocean. Due to him hitting his head though, his memories are all muddled, making it unsuccessful. They look for his parents for a few days, but they also have no luck in that regard. So another option, Roshi decides that he'll take care of the boy for a while, at least until someone comes to claim him. Roshi would decide to take the boy on as a son. So in this timeline, Goku's name would be Muten Mutaito, but for simplicity, we're just gonna call him Goku. It'd be clear from an early age that Goku's obsessed with fighting, which works out nicely for Roshi. So he'd raise the boy in the way of the Turtle School, make him do the Turtle School training every day. He'd also train him on the side to further increase his strength. This instills the mindset and martial arts within Goku from an early age, fundamentally tying him to the martial arts from the start. Goku's intelligence would also be slightly higher, to the point where he can count numbers without getting confused. He'd also learn about Roshi's various escapades back in the day, amazed at his father's stories. Whenever Goku inevitably comes in Ozaru, it'd be handled pretty easily. Roshi would simply blow up the moon to prevent that ever happening again. Goku would likely learn the Kamehameha from Roshi through their training, copying it after seeing his father do it in passing. He'd also get Kinto-un from a much earlier age. So going into the start of Dragon Ball, we'd have a much stronger Goku. We'd also have a Roshi who is stronger since he had Goku to be training with over the years. It wouldn't be much more of an increase, but it would still be noticeable. The beauty about a scenario like this is that there's not really much setup we need to do, so we can just jump straight into the story. Turtle would head out for groceries with neither Goku nor Roshi hearing from him for a little while. This worries the Turtle Hermit a little bit, as does Goku. So Roshi decides to tell his adopted son to go look for him. Since Goku doesn't have too much experience with the outside world, he'd be rather eager. He's been off the island before, naturally, but it isn't too often. So he'd call for his magic cloud and flies away. After a bit of looking around, Goku ultimately runs into Turtle in the woods, trying to find the ocean. Turtle will be rather grateful to have Goku there, confessing he was lost. Goku laughs, picking up his friend. He then simply flies him back to Kame House. Easily done. So Goku would just be at Kame House vibing without anything to do for a little while. A few days go by before anything substantial actually happens. As Goku's training with Roshi, both of them are distracted by a noise. They turn to see Turtle with two people on his back. Turtle explains that while he was swimming around exercising, he ran into these two. One of them was the disciple of Gohan, and the other the child of Ox King. These are Yamcha and Chi-Chi. Roshi would smile at the prospect of his two protégés passing on their legacy to the next generation. He sweat drops, however, learning about how neither have really learned anything from their masters. Yamcha has been Gohan's student for only a few days, and Chi-Chi isn't really a martial artist. They explain to Roshi how they need him to put out the flames on Fry Pan Mountain, which he accepts. Recognizing the names, Goku would find it cool that they were trained by other strong people, so he asks them to fight. While Chi-Chi passes, Yamcha agrees, believing that he can beat this small fry. With a few after images off the bat, Goku leaves Yamcha completely outmatched, so after one blow, he's taken down, leaving Chi-Chi blushing at the boy's strength. Roshi would travel to Fry Pan Mountain with Yamcha, letting Goku follow behind with Chi-Chi on Kinto-un. It wouldn't take long before they arrive, where the Turtle School reunion would occur. Roshi would be glad to see both his students yet again, but would be annoyed that neither truly kept up on their training. Gohan tells him that they've grown old, it's not their responsibility anymore. They all then turn to Goku, Yamcha, and Chi-Chi, recognizing them as the next generation. Roshi then proceeds to destroy Fry Pan Mountain. After recognizing the Dragon Ball on Roshi's neck, Bulma would try to get it from him. So after a quick panty flash, Bulma would be given the Dragon Ball as well. Goku would be curious about the Dragon Balls and asks about them, learning from Bulma about what they do. The idea of a wish-granting dragon excites Goku, so he has to tag along with the group to see them summon it. I think they'd be okay with it, as there's no reason not to let him come. So Roshi gives his blessing, telling Goku will be waiting at Kame House for his return. So the group leave, bidding Roshi, Ox King, and Chi-Chi farewell. After this, we'd run into the Rabbit Mob. This would be a wash with Goku taking them out faster than most of them can perceive. This impresses even Gohan as he recognizes the strength of his master's son. And when the Pilaf gang arrives, they'd also get easily clapped by Gohan and Goku. With no moon there to put them in peril, it means this arc is pretty simple, so they just summon Shenron. Bulma quickly realizes that she doesn't need the wish anymore due to having Yamcha, so she offers it to anyone else. Goku speaks up, requesting which they all agree to. So he wishes for a year's worth of adult magazines to Roshi, making everyone double over at the ridiculous wish. But everyone splits up, Goku requests a spar with Gohan. Gohan laughs before agreeing, wishing to test his strength. So the duo have a brief spar, moving faster than any of them can perceive. Gohan would catch Goku's tail, which makes him go limp, commenting on this being a glaring weak point in how he fights. Goku is glad to find a new weakness and gets back up, asking Gohan to finish this with one more attack. So the duo both have a Kamehameha clash, creating a pretty small explosion that blows everyone else back. Both of them recognize each other's strength and thank the other for a good match. Goku then calls his magic cloud and departs, ready to return home. After returning home and handing his father his present, Krillin would quickly show up wanting to train. While Roshi is skeptical, Goku would be ecstatic at the chance to have another training partner. So Krillin is allowed to train with Roshi. Since Roshi has the large amount of magazines, they don't need to find launch, meaning we never get to meet her. Since Krillin is training with a stronger Goku and Roshi, it means that after the training, he'll also be stronger. Goku would also train his tail here, since he had that weakness pointed out. Over with Yamcha, he'd be training with Gohan at Mount Paozu. While he wanted to go with Bulma, after seeing so many high-level fighters, he wished to better himself, so he asked Bulma to wait for him. We also see Chi-Chi being trained a bit more seriously here. Ox King took what Roshi said to heart, and didn't want to be shown up by Gohan or Roshi's students. Plus, Chi-Chi saw how strong Goku was, so she'd probably be a bit inspired by his insane strength. So the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, we'd have all these parties meeting up once again. Krillin would be pretty nervous in the presence of so many strong fighters. Goku reassures him though. Roshi also confesses his plans to Gohan and Ox King, telling them about how he's going undercover. So Roshi still becomes Jackie Chun to teach all of them the lesson that there always is someone stronger. In the tournament bracket, Chi-Chi would end up replacing Ranfan, with the rest of the fighters being in the exact same position. After Krillin's identical fight with Bacterian, Yamcha would fight Jackie Chun. Yamcha would be doing much better than in canon thanks to Gohan's training. He wouldn't be underestimating Jackie Chun as much, and would be going all out. Despite this, Jackie Chun pretty easily wins, knocking Yamcha out of the arena. Bulma then chews out Yamcha for losing so quickly, calling his training trip a waste. Next is Chi-Chi against Nam. While she does her best, Nam would be pretty easily parrying all her attacks, then defeats her with one chop to the back of the neck. Goku fights against Giran and wouldn't really struggle. He'd be able to destroy his gum and knock him out the arena. Then Krillin fights Jackie Chun, but this also goes the same with Jackie Chun simply defeating Krillin. Then Goku fights Nam. He and Nam wouldn't even be close to Goku, so the fight isn't even that intense. When Nam takes to the air, Goku follows him, knocking him to the ground. In the air, he's left open, which lets Goku exploit his weakness. So Goku wins much quicker. Roshi would be pretty nervous looking at his son's strength, but also feels a form of pride. After a quick break, the finals take place with Jackie Chun and Goku entering the arena. This fight is shockingly different though. They're both stronger, but that doesn't determine everything in a fight. Goku's been training with Roshi for close to a decade, meaning that he'd be accustomed to his fighting style and techniques. While he doesn't know Jackie Chun as Roshi, subconsciously, he's able to predict what he'll do next and keep up. His drunken fist attacks quickly become ineffective, and the Thundershock surprise is dodged last second. So by the time they both come to their final attacks, Goku would have more energy left. This means that he's able to stand up after a double knockout and declare that he did so win. He then passes out. So to Roshi's horror and the gang's delight, Goku is the winner of the tournament. After Goku awakens, he decides to buy a big banquet for the whole gang, delighted by his win. While they eat, Gohan, Oxy, and Roshi would all begin talking. Roshi comments on him being nervous at Goku's win, worried that it may go to his head. He has potential to become the greatest martial artist ever, so he hopes he doesn't become cocky. Ox King tries to reassure Roshi that he's just paranoid, but Roshi can't get rid of that sinking feeling. When everything is said and done, and everyone gets ready to depart, Roshi tells Goku that he can't come back with him. It's time for him to depart on his own training journey, find his own way. So Goku decides to depart, bidding his friends goodbye, as he departs on the next step of his journey. But guys, That's where we're going to leave it here. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below what's going to happen in the next part. If you enjoyed this what if, make sure you hit the like button, it supports the channel and lets me know you want to see another part. As you can see, this is probably one of the best what ifs I've done, even though it's so simplistic. Going into the rest of Dragon Ball, I really hope that you guys see the changes that, although were simplistic here, have a big change later on. And yeah, bye!